Hello, how's your day going? I genuinely want to know. I would love to hear from you guys. Please, if you're watching these videos, if you're getting something out of it, leave a comment in the comment section and let me know how you're doing right now. Because if you have a burning desire to learn something that I might be able to help you with, it'll give me tremendous amounts of motivation to make a video. I've got so many ideas for videos that sometimes I don't know what the heck I want to talk about, which is why I created a list of YouTube video ideas. So I asked a while ago what you guys want to learn about, and somebody said, I want to know your breakup advice, because I said I have some information about a holistic hack for going through a breakup. And I wanted to go ahead and make a video about that today because it's such an important thing. And the thing is, let's face it, going through breakups suck, and everyone has been there at some point, right? Unless you're in a long-term committed relationship that has never had a bump in the road, because a bump in the road can even feel devastating. But, if you've been married for 50 years, congratulations. The truth is, guys, I love relationships, and I meet so many people by being a massage therapist that they tell me about their lives. They tell me whether or not they're going through a divorce right now or whether they're in a relationship or not. And I meet tons of people, probably thousands of people through doing this work. And I get, an opportunity to have an intimate conversation with them when we're doing the massage. Some people are talkers and need YouTube channels. But whenever I've met anybody who's had a relationship for longer than a few years, I'm talking 7, 8, 9, 10 years, 15 years, 12 years, 25 years, 30 years, 50 years. When I meet people who are like, oh man, I've been married for 50 years, I'm like, tell me your secret. What works for you? How does that work? Because don't we all want a relationship that lasts, Some of us don't. We're going to get into that topic another time about people that don't really want relationships and then people that really do, and how there's a major push-pull there when you have one person that just wants the commitment so bad and then the other person doesn't. So that's something to be aware of. Are you, dating somebody who's in alignment with what you actually want? So number one, date the right person. Ideally, find somebody who's looking for the same stuff that you're looking for, and have compassion. Every couple that has been together 50 years that I've asked, they always tell me that it's compromise, communication and compromise. So FYI, for those of you out there that are holding out for that perfect person that you never have to make any compromises with, it doesn't exist. Okay? Like, it doesn't exist. I've had so many relationships. I feel so blessed in the love department. I've been married before. I've had multiple committed long-term relationships. And I've had a lot of fling-eatings and short-term 3, 6 week, 6 month, people that are like hung up over their ex and they're like, oh my God, I'm so hung up over my ex. And I'm like, how long were you guys together? And they're like, we were dating for like 3 months. I'm like, seriously? Guys, you don't really know somebody that well yet until you've been with them for like 3 years. So, or you've lived with them. If you live together, right away, you get to know them real quick and all their truths and dirty, dark, nasty, bad, ugly habits and their amazing, wonderful, positive traits as well. But let's just get it all clear right now that there is no perfect relationship where there's never any disagreements or difficult conversations that have to happen. What makes a relationship good is that you can communicate and you can find compromises that work. And one of the biggest things that makes that even possible is communicating your needs and how you feel. If someone doesn't know how you feel or what you need, and you don't say, like, I really need to feel this way, or I really need you to help me in the kitchen so that I can feel like valued, or I need you to say thank you when I cook dinner. Like, if you don't express that and you just get upset when they don't do it, then you're playing the game of expecting someone to read your mind, and that's not a good way to be in a relationship. So let's talk about once this relationship ends and now you're going through a breakup. We've all been there, okay? Even if you're the one who initiates the breakup, it's not fun. You know what I mean? Like, I've been the one multiple times where I had a guy that was great and he wasn't the right guy for me. And, I don't even know if I'm looking for the right guy, but I was looking for someone who could hold their own in the relationship with me and provide a equal amount of support and love and affection and nurturing and, stability that I could provide. So basically, if a guy doesn't have his shit together at least as well as my shit is together, then we're not gonna work. I'm not looking for somebody who needs, a sugar mama. And honestly, I don't think anybody should be looking for that. But here's the deal. Even when you're the one who has to break the other person's heart and you have to let them go and tell them it's over, that's difficult to do. It's not easy to tell someone it's over. It's not fun. A lot of people drag their heels for a long time. Some people for even years, they want out of the marriage, but they don't want to have to deal with the breakup. So they stay in the marriage or they stay in the relationship, even though they're not happy anymore and they haven't been happy for a long time. So just so you know, there are people there. I believe there's a book written about this called the Uncoupling. And there's some amazing teacher woman who teaches the conscious uncoupling. And there's also people who are like life coaches and therapists that can help you through a breakup. So it's always a great idea to get outer counsel and get help, especially if it's like a marriage, especially if there's children involved. But let's just talk about you and me. Let's just talk about people that are like, we're living our lives and we want to be happy and we want someone that increases our happiness. And it's interesting too, like what I was saying about what depends on what you want. It's like, I love relationships that challenge me to grow. Now, not in a way of like my partner is being so fucking horribly abusive to me that I'm being challenged to learn how to suffer the abuse. No, thank you. None of that twin flame bullshit. False twin flame, just saying. I'm not talking about that kind of challenge. I'm talking about someone who challenges you to be a better version of yourself. Someone who inspires you to grow. Someone who inspires you to think differently and inspires you to let go of your negative, unhealthy beliefs. I don't want to be with someone who drags me down or who enables me to be a fuck up or who, tells me that it's okay, you do enough. You don't need to try harder or, whatever. There's a time and place for everything. We all need to be compassionate and loving and understanding, and we all need to understand that human beings make mistakes and have flaws. But if the person you're with is not, if it's just stagnant and there's no like increased excitement or increased joy or, or like a challenge with regard to, helping you see things in a different way, helping you, grow your mind. Like, let's say you have a negative belief and you think that you're ugly or something. And you're just like, oh, I'm ugly. I'm ugly. I'm ugly. If your partner's like, yeah, you're ugly. Good thing, I don't have to fight anybody for you. That's shitty. Your partner should say, you're not ugly. Don't say that about yourself. Don't use those words. Talk differently about yourself. Speak more highly of yourself. Okay? So you should have a partner who loves you enough that they treat you awesome, A, and B, that they encourage you and support you and help motivate you into being better at being you. Okay? So number one, that's important, to be with somebody who's awesome. Now, if you're with someone who's not awesome or they've got their own problems, we all have our problems, and it comes time to end it, that's not ever easy. Even when, God, I have a friend who like, there's also a thing when you're dating somebody who just got out of a relationship with somebody else, okay? When someone's been with somebody else for years and they just got out of a long-term relationship, they are not going to be ready to get right into a new one, even if they want to. So it drives me bonkers seeing how many people I love and care about that just jump right into the very next relationship. And I think, what the fuck are you doing, man? You got to give yourself some time. You can't just go from one relationship to the next. You're going to have all this residual expectations and feelings coming from the last relationship, and now it's spilling over onto the new person. And that's really lame. And I'm guilty. I've been the swooper who swoops in on the attractive person that I've had a crush on right when they got out of a relationship with someone that they were with for a long period of time. But I thought, if I don't take my chance now to let this person know I'm interested in them, then they might get swooped up by someone else and be in another committed long-term relationship for the next 5 years. So I better take action while I have a chance. So there is something to be said for those of us that are bold enough to put ourselves out there. And, you know, when you are attracted to somebody and you have a good rapport or a good vibe, or maybe you've dated in the past or you've hooked up before, and, you know, when you find out that that person's available, to say, hey, man, I've always been into you. And if you're into me, like, just so you know. So there's a thing here about being in a different place. When I got out of my divorce 11 years ago, makes me feel so old. When I got divorced, I had been with the same dude, monogamously married for 5 years. Prior to getting married to him, I was committed emotionally and in love with him. Even though I lived in a different state and I dated other guys, I was still like, I was basically being polyamorous for the first time. I realized that now, like, I was in love with him, but I was still enjoying being with other people. So I was being poly. I had someone I care about and love, and someone else that I care about and maybe grow loving feelings for. But I was with two, my heart was in two different places at once, or three at the time. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I was emotionally committed to this guy for 8 years of my life. And I was so, thought we were soulmates. I was so into it. I was like, we're going to live our lives together. We're going to grow old together. I was in it, dude. I was not going to like take that shit lightly. I'm not going to go get married to somebody if I don't actually want to do the work and be there for them through the thick and the thin and the good and the bad and the freaking goodness, you know, sickness and health and all that shit. Okay. I took it seriously. So when that relationship ended, I was pretty devastated. Now, I was sick of the relationship sucking, and I was happy that it was over on the one hand, because I didn't want to continue to suffer in this unhappy, unhealthy marriage. But, you know, there was a lot of neglect, and it was weird. It wasn't like he was cheating on me or being an asshole. He was just avoiding me completely. He was avoidant. Maybe I've got a thing for attracting avoidant types. But anyway, it was really painful to be avoided. It was painful to be married to someone and have them ignore you. So by the time that was over, I was like, well, thank God it's going to change, because I don't want to live like this anymore. But on the other hand, I was like, I am not a quitter. I am going to freaking work on this relationship. I'm going to do whatever needs to get done. And I felt pissed that he had just thrown in the towel and gave up, you know, because I felt like I was trying, but that he had already given up a long time ago, which I was able to call him on during our divorce conversation, which was very cathartic. So anyway, when I got out of that long-term relationship, you know, I had been like emotionally committed to this dude for 8 fucking years. And I had all these plans about what was going to happen in my life, what we're going to do together, where we're going to live, how our future is going to look, what we're going to do. Next thing you know, I'm by myself living in a city that I'm fairly new to, and he's gone. And I've got friends that I know from my job and a few friends that I met through him, and I'm on my fucking own. Now, this was a really crazy time, because I was emotionally like, what's wrong with me? I suck. I couldn't make a marriage work. I failed. So I had all these negative feelings about myself and my self-worth and whether or not I was, you know, good enough and all that horrible shit that fucks with all of our brains. None of us are immune to that, unfortunately. No matter how hot, gorgeous, beautiful, sexy, perfect body you have, just so you know, the people that are the hottest and always wear all the makeup are usually the ones that are the most insecure. So even if you're like a fucking super catch and you're on a 1 to 10, you're an 11, we still feel like shit. We still go through emotional crap. We still have self-worth issues. We still have self-esteem issues. And no one escapes feeling terrible and worthless and hopeless and helpless. So welcome to the club. You're not special. If you feel terrible and horrible and like nobody loves you and you're never going to find anybody, shut up. This too shall pass. Take a deep breath. Okay? You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. I promise. I've got some tactics for you to use. So, okay, you're going through a breakup. Whether you initiated it or they did, it still sucks. And you might be like, I'm free. I'm so excited to be free. I want to get out there and date and meet new people. But dating's weird. We all know this. And it changes every couple years. Like now it's all texting and online. And back then it was, you know, you had to meet people through like a website and meet, you know, actually call them on the phone. And anyway. So let me go back to when I got divorced. I was not ready, nor did I have any interest in being in a committed relationship with the next guy or girl that I was going to date. I was like, I want to date. I want to have some lovers. I want to have some sexual activity to, you know, feel good in my body. I wanted to be validated that I was hot and could still get laid. I wanted to feel like I was sexy, and therefore getting attention from people would, make me feel sexy. And I knew this. I was talking to my therapist. I was seeing a therapist. Come on, I was going through a divorce. Therapy is always a good idea, guys. If you think you should do therapy, do therapy. If you even have the slightest inclination that you might benefit from it, that's higher self, universe, God telling you, you should absolutely look into it. Go for it. Find a therapist. But I'm going through therapy with this amazing therapist. She was fantastic. And I was like, is this bad that I'm dating all these people? Is it bad that I'm picking up all these guys from the bar and bringing them home? And, I started hooking up with people a lot. I found out that my ex-husband had a new girlfriend within 2 weeks of our breakup, which led me to believe that he already had this girl kind of like on the back burner, or I don't think he cheated on me. I think he had enough honor to break up with me before entering into the relationship with her in a physical way, but he had already started the relationship with her in an emotional way for a while. Like he was basically like, he had a backup girl because he can't handle being alone. So when I found out that he had a new girlfriend within 2 weeks, I was floored. I was fucking furious, devastated, pissed. Started to feel like everything in our relationship was a lie. And I was like, oh, you can go fuck somebody else? Oh, I can go fuck somebody else. You watch me. So, I kind of took it as a challenge to get out there and break the seal. Breaking the seal can be helpful, just sleeping with somebody else as soon as possible. But not everybody's into that. Depends on how you feel. But let me just say that there is something to that. However, if you're going to break the seal and go sleep with someone else as quickly as possible, just make sure that the person that you're sleeping with knows that you just got out of a long-term relationship. Don't hide things. Don't fucking hide things. I hate when people are not honest about stuff. But maybe because I'm a questioner, I ask a million questions. So if I'm on a date with somebody, I'm like, oh, so when was your last relationship? How long was it? How did it go? Oh, when did you guys break up? Blah, blah, blah. So if I meet some guy and he's like, yeah, I'm looking, I'm dating right now, and, I really want to find the person to be with for the rest of my life, and I want to have kids, and do you want to have kids? I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. I went through that. I had a guy that was like, you'd be such a great mom. And I was like, no, dude, this is I'm not like a uterus out here looking for a man to like claim me. I am a woman who wants to date and have fun and meet guys and have a good time. And I'm not trying to commit to anybody. But there might be people out there looking for a commitment. There might be people out there who want to find the one, and they are looking for someone to get married to, or looking for someone to have babies with, or looking for this, so if you're out there and you're like, oh, you're hot, you're sexy, you're fun, and they're like, oh, what a great connection, you're so awesome, this woman's so amazing, beautiful, and now you go have this amazing little fling, and you don't tell them that you're not interested in a relationship, they might be really hurt and let down, and like, why'd you. Now, there's plenty of people that want to go home with you and never talk to you again, so don't worry, there's no shortage of them. But be clear, let somebody know, like, if you want to take them home with you, if you're feeling excited and you want to go hit it, say, hey, I would love to go home with you, but I just want you to know, like, I'm not looking for a relationship right now. Now, that might seem strange to some of you to hear, but like, what if you were making out with someone at a bar and you were digging them and they told you that? Would you be like, oh, you don't want a relationship with me? Or would you go like, oh, thank you for telling me how you feel. Thank you for letting me know where you're at. Thank you for letting me know what you need. Now I know that if I want to go home with you, this is probably a one-time thing, or maybe we'll hook up a few times and date a little bit. But I'm going to now, the one who's being told this, I'm going to emotionally protect myself and put up my little shield from getting attached. Like, some people are not able to do that shield and they get attached no matter what. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to break people's hearts. Just tell them. There's nothing wrong with that. It's way better to be honest. Honesty is the best policy, man. I've definitely been there where I'm telling someone that I'm not interested in a commitment. And I've had some people say, oh, me either. Totally no big deal. And then, like, I never hear from them again. And I've had some people say, but I want to be with you. I don't want to just be one of your guys. And I remember when this one guy told me this, bless his heart, he was such a sweetie. I was dating a lot of younger guys at that time when I was going through my divorce. It was easier for me to just date young guys that had I didn't want to meet someone that I would actually want to be in a relationship with. I didn't want to hook up with a guy that I would really like. I wanted some time to be single and figure my own shit out. So my number one piece of advice is take some freaking time for yourself to figure your shit out. Take several months. It might even be like a year or two, but take some time for yourself to be single on purpose. That doesn't mean you can't have sex with people or date. It just means you're not going to get into a committed, serious relationship with the next person. Take some time for yourself, please, for all of our benefit. But yeah, I remember the sweetheart, he was like, we hook up and he's like, I don't want to be just one of your guys. And I said, you should have told me that before we hooked up, because there's already 2 other ones. Thank you, ex-husband, for breaking my heart and helping me discover polyamory. It's been an amazing journey. Okay, here's the tips. Hang out with empowering friends that have a positive attitude. Do not spend time around the negative Nancys. If you have friends that are like, oh, what an asshole, yeah, your ex is a jerk, that doesn't actually help you heal. It just makes you more angry. And don't hang out with people that are like, that don't like listen to your feelings and that are just like dismissive. If they're like, yeah, you're complaining about the same woman over and over. I listened to you talk about this girl, just dump her already. She's never going to change, whatever. I heard that not too long ago. And a friend of mine was going through, I guess, a breakup at the time. And it was like, he was just like wanted to miserate. And a lot of us around him were like, we're sick of hearing you complain about this person. Like, do something about this or quit complaining about it, right? So don't commiserate. Don't just sit around complaining. If you need to vent and you need to just spill your beans about the drama or how they hurt you or whatever, get it out. Definitely. But don't just keep ruminating about the negatives. That's not going to help you. You need to be around people that are positive. You need to be around people that are going to say, you deserve love. You need to be around people that are going to say, you are an amazing person and this relationship didn't work out, but that doesn't matter. You're going to find someone amazing. And maybe that person wasn't in the right place at the right time. Like if somebody wanted to be committed to me right after my divorce, I wasn't ready for that. It wasn't the right time for me. So if a relationship didn't work out with me at that time, it wasn't on them, it was on me. I didn't want the relationship at that time. So if you're in a relationship with somebody and they don't want a relationship right now, they can't handle it, and then you break up, don't worry about, don't feel like you failed. You got to know, like, it's not always in alignment. Like, we're lucky if we find somebody who can actually be in alignment with us at the right place at the right time. Okay. A lot of people like to drink and do drugs and escape. We've all done it. You get fucked up, you cry, you drown your sorrows, you get high, you stay in bed, you take sleeping pills. I don't know. But there's a lot of us that get depressed and we don't want to deal with our feelings. So we numb out. Do not do that. That is not a good way to deal with a breakup. That is certainly not a holistic way. If you want to do this the healthiest way you can, nurture yourself. Nourish yourself. Go get a massage. Work out those tight knots in your shoulders that have been built up from all your stressing out about this. Eat healthy food. Go out to restaurants and buy yourself dinner if you have to. Get some nourishing food in your body. Don't just live on protein bars and soda and beer and vodka. Like, you gotta take care of your body. Do you know what makes you feel like shit? Eating shit. So if you just want to be sad and eat ice cream and popcorn and a bunch of garbage, you're going to feel even worse. You're going to mess up your gut flora. You're going to have all this bacterial overgrowth in your digestive system, and you're going to feel more depressed and more shitty. And you might even gain a few pounds, which is going to make you feel even worse about the fact that you're single now. So eat healthy. Another huge one that is a holistic hack for anything. At any time, if you're feeling anything bad, if you're sad, if you're down, move your body. Get out there and stretch your body, go to yoga, go for walks. Going outside in the sunlight is huge. If you live in a place where it's dark and cold and snowing, go to a freaking tanning bed, man. Get some vitamin D, take a vitamin D supplement, Move your body. If you can, I'm going to go have a walk and talk with a girlfriend tonight who's probably going to tell me about her recent breakup, and I love her to death. And when I've been going through shit, I always have a walk and talk with her. And when she goes through shit, this is like our therapy with each other. You know, we go walking on the beach, or we go walking, you know, somewhere outside. We go on a hike together, and we are able to talk about and process our emotions. And it's so wonderful because we're getting exercise, we're getting fresh air, and we can talk. So move your body. The same empowering friends that are going to help you stay positive and remember that you're a beautiful, lovable, wonderful person and deserve love, and that you're going to find it, and that you're not going to be alone forever. Those same people will go hiking with you and will go to yoga with you. And if you don't have any friends that want to work out, and all your friends want to sit around and get drunk and be sad, get some new fucking friends, because those friends suck and they're just going to drag you down, and you're just going to be bummed out and sad with your shitty, sad, bummed out friends. So get some different friends. Oh, join a freaking hiking club. Okay, go get on meetup.com and go join a hiking club and go hiking once a month or once a week or something, and get outside, move your body, and meet cool people. Meeting new people is so huge. And maybe you're not looking to date. You're not looking to be hooking up with someone right away. Maybe you are. Maybe you're looking for tail. Maybe you just want to get outside. But here's the thing. Whether you I'm not talking about meeting people in the sense of like go meet people to like date. I'm saying just meet people. Just meet people. Just people of the same gender that you are, or the same, you know, the opposite gender than what you're attracted to. Meet people and just engage, communicate, talk. Remind yourself how to flirt. Dish out compliments shamelessly. Go be friendly and talk to people. And maybe you're not ready for that right away, but as soon as you are, the soonest possible that you can get your ass out of the house and go hang out with people that you haven't met before and meet people and talk to people, it'll just remind you that like life is meant to be lived. And you might meet somebody at a party and they're like, hi, how are you doing? How do you, what are you doing? What are you up to? Who are you? What do you do? What's your life about? And you start chatting, and then you're like, yeah, man, I'm going through a breakup right now, and I just got out of a long-term relationship. And the person might be like, oh man, me too. And you're like, yeah, it kind of sucks, right? And like, you can realize that everyone goes through stuff. Everybody has ups and downs. But the thing that you don't want to do, that we all do, is isolate. A lot of us feel sad and feel down, so we go hide in our room and don't get out of bed and just stay in bed and watch Netflix or whatever the fuck we're doing and watch all these YouTube videos. And, we just kind of like hide out from the world. We don't respond to our friends' text messages. We don't respond to our friends' offers to go hiking. We don't, we just stay in bed and feel sad and down. So sometimes you need a few days of that shit. But if you're doing a few weeks of it or a few months, you got to snap out of it and get your ass moving, even if it means that you just ask your friend to come over to your house and drag you out of the house and go hiking. But reach out. Even if you just let people know, I'm going through something right now, I'm really having a hard time, let them know so they can just send you loving and encouraging letters and text messages. My mentor is like the nicest guy in the world, and he's been married and divorced 3 times. He's in his 70s. And when I was going through my divorce, he told me I could call him every single day, anytime, day or night, and he'd be there for me. Is that not the sweetest thing in the fucking world? He was like, I'm here for you no matter what you need. I was like, I love you the most. And he would send me messages and voicemails, and he would say, call me if you want to. Don't call me if you don't want to. No pressure. I just want you to know I love you. That shit is worth its weight in gold. So let your friends know what you're going through. Let your family know so that they can just be supportive and loving. And they don't make it worse by saying, why aren't you calling me back? Why aren't you texting me back? Okay? Communicate. Again, lesson number 1 from relationships is communicate. Okay, here's another cool tip. Watch funny movies. I'm trying to think of the word here for just load up on, absorb yourself in, immerse yourself. What am I thinking? What word here? Anyway, if you're going to take in media, if you're going to watch the news, if you're going to scroll Facebook, if you're going to look at YouTube, if you're going to watch Netflix, watch funny stuff. If you've never watched Big Mouth, watch Big Mouth. And that show will remind you that everyone's life sucks. And remember adolescence? Aren't you glad that you're not in adolescence anymore? Watch funny movies. This is what people do when they're going through cancer treatment. Okay? You don't allow yourself to watch anything negative. You don't watch horror films. You don't watch scary thrillers. You don't watch romantic fucking comedies that are going to make you angry and cry. And you don't watch a bunch of relationship movies. You don't watch Love Actually when you're mad at love. Okay? So I would say avoid the romance stuff. It's just going to make you sad. Don't watch any lovey-dovey shit unless you love it or unless you want to cry your eyes out. But if I want to cry, I'll just watch Old Yeller or something. But I still to this day can't watch the horse go into the swamp of sadness in the Never-Ending Story. Never-Ending Story. Watch your favorite movies. The only romance film you're allowed to watch is The Princess Bride, okay? But watch your favorite movies or take in new media that you haven't seen yet, something exciting, fun, maybe something hot and sexy, like TV shows, whatever, but just stay the hell away from shit that's going to make you feel worse. Stay the hell away from shit that's negative. Stay away from Walking Dead. Like, stay away from shit that's like, the end of the world is coming and everybody's going to die, because you're just going to feel worse. Just input your brain with positive messages. Write a little note on your mirror that says, I am worthy of love. Write a little note on your mirror that says, I welcome love and abundance into my life. And put it on your freaking mirror in the bathroom so that when you're brushing your teeth, it's right below your face. Make a note that says, remember to smile because you look prettier when you smile. You know what I'm saying? Like, another cool couple tips are to put yourself together. Like, you know when you're sick with the flu and you've been had a cold for several days and you've been in the same pajamas for 3 days and you just feel like shit and you got to go somewhere and you got to do something and you don't even want to put your freaking clothes on. But when you put your clothes on and when you get yourself cleaned up and you do your hair and you put a little jewelry on and maybe you put a little makeup on, and for guys, you know, you're grooming and you're doing your hair, doesn't it make you feel better? Doesn't it make you feel more empowered? Doesn't it make you feel like you're a real human being again and you're not just a freaking sick blob on the couch? So that can help too. You can fake it till you make it. You can put your makeup on, put your cute outfit on, get dressed up, give yourself a reason to put your clothes on and get out of the house. That can help you feel better. And it's all about making yourself feel good, because that's what's going to pull you out of this funk. And talk to your friends. Talk about the real breakup. Process. Do the processing that you need to do, whether with a therapist or your friends. But make sure that you're not just staying in the negative. Make sure that you're looking at the lessons you can learn from the relationship, and make sure that you're just trying to see things positively. Like even the most horrible relationship that I was in, where the guy was an abusive D-bag and literally, you know, was like physically abusive, verbally abusive, and emotionally and psychologically manipulative as a motherfucker, that drove me to the darkest bottom I've ever been at since I was like suicidal in 14. Once I had some space from that, and I was watching a lot of YouTube videos learning about codependency and narcissism, by the way. I was watching funny movies. I was watching empowering YouTube channels. I can put some links in the description here to some empowering YouTube channels you can scope out. I was able to have an experience where I got something positive out of all that negative shit. Okay? The number one big positive was that I learned to have real boundaries. I had never really had boundaries before, but now that I had someone cross them hardcore, I developed extremely strong and healthy boundaries around how people treat me. And the second positive that I got, which was all good and no bad, was, you know, not instead of having to learn the hard way, was I realized that my inner child had been released, and that this person and I communicated a lot in a very childish, cute way. We would speak in a little silly voice, and we had this silly little cutesy childish thing that we would do with each other. And whenever we would talk like we were 11 years old, we got along really well. And I thought that tells you something there. Like, we couldn't get along as adults, but we could get along if we pretended to be kids. But the point was, I was with some friends at an event, and I wanted to say something in the little cute voice, and I caught myself, and I stopped, and I was like, no, I don't want to do that, because that was something associated with him, with my ex. But in this moment, I had a realization of like, wait a minute, fuck him. Am I going to stifle my cute little inner child voice and this playful little fun piece of my personality that I've uncovered in this relationship? Am I going to hide it just because it reminds me of him? Or am I going to embrace that this relationship unlocked this part of me, and now I get to have it whenever the fuck I want? So I decided to let the child voice out in front of my friends, and they giggled and they were like, you're so cute. And to this day, I just got goosebumps. To this day, I feel I let it out when I want to, and I act silly and playful and childish and make this cute little voice. And no one has ever had a negative reaction to it. Everybody thinks it's adorable, and I enjoy it, and it makes me happy. So that's a positive. That's something that I got out of that fucked up, shitty relationship. I got this part of myself to be free. So try to find the positives. Try to find what you've learned. Try to understand, even if all that it is that you learned what you don't want. You know, let's say you dated a guy for 3 months, or a girl, and the way they acted drove you crazy on a lot of different levels, and now you've learned that those are deal breakers for you. Great, wonderful. Now you know that these are deal breakers for you. So the next person you date, you can say, hey, here's what I'm looking for, here's where I'm at right now, and here's what I'm available for, and these are my deal breakers. Because everything is learning. Relationships are learning. Relationships make us more of who we are. They make us grow. They make us better, hopefully. And relationships are wonderful. They're the fabric of life. If we didn't have them, none of us would be here, right? Takes two to tango and make babies, right, y'all? I hope this helps you get through a breakup. I hope this gives you some holistic tips for how to take better care of yourself so that you can get through it faster and feel better in your body and feel more empowered so that you can move on and be ready for the next one. Have a beautiful day. Thanks for your time and attention. As always, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, share it with your friends, and subscribe if you don't want to miss any of the content I'm putting out. Have a great day. Bye.